So here we are again on the 17th of April, and this will be the first video of one of my projects for this year. This is the Rover 75 Tour diesel that I was telling you about as a prototype JTD engined car that was one of the test vehicles I used at the factory for testing the new engine they were thinking of buying. So, well, this is what I've read anyway. I believe that's still on the original reg that came on, the BX04YBL. If anybody wants to look it up, it's basically an 04. It's registered 04 Rover 25 Connoisseur Tour. It's obviously a facelift model with projector headlights. It's got heated cloth seats, facelift steering wheel, a few other bits. It's got still 5-speed box, just cloth seats in the back, and pretty much a standard car. Nothing obvious to the eye. Different alloys are a bit unusual on it. I don't think I've seen them before, but other than that, that's it. The car drives very well. It's got slight hesitation on idle, and we drive a bit like a CDTI, a bit touch laggy, and definitely not 150 brake horsepower anyway. I would say it's morely based off the 120 brake version. It drives power wise probably around the same as the 115 BMW version. So if you can see, if anybody has ever looked at the picture of the car, it's a very Vauxhall-esque-ish air filter and MAF setup. You've got a very boorish fuel filter setup, and the coolant tank is a stainless steel item. There's no actual markings on it for levels or etc. The wiring looks quite rudimental. I don't know if this is the previous owner's. I'll just get a light. I don't know if it's the previous owner's. I did know he did have to fix some of the wiring. I'm not too sure what was original and what is what he's fixed. But electrically the cars have got a lot of problems. So as you can see, quite a strange filter setup. See the wiring over here, and there's all your wiring bits and pieces there. Obviously your gear linkages and all are all the same. I'm not too sure about the ABS setup, things like that, but well, I'll, like I said in the other video, this is just a sort of introduction video to the car. I'll maybe strip a few things down and I'll put the car in the ramp, and we'll have a good look around and see what way it was fitted, and see if there's any parts that are the same. Engine mount wise looks quite similar. Obviously the stabilizer bar setup and things like that are the same, but the actual engine mount itself looks a bit modified. And we'll have a look at good look at the ECU setup and things as well, and see what ECU's in it, see what we can find about it. So the main problems with the car electrically is the dash would be the main one. The dash doesn't work at all. The dash is actually a petrol auto dash, which makes little sense to me. I don't think Rover would have done that out of the factory. I don't really understand that. And looking at the MOT histories, it went from 6,500 miles in 2009 to 58,000 miles in 2010. So I believe in that 2009 year, someone has changed the dash for some reason. I don't really know why, but they have changed it. So basically nothing works. Revs, speedo works intermittently. It only goes up to 10 miles an hour. Fuel gauge reads sort of half what it should do, so halfway would be full. So, and the coolant doesn't work either. As you see, I have an ER fault for mileage discrepancy, which I'm hoping the original light module's in the car, so we can see exactly what miles is on the car. But if the speedo and stuff hasn't been reading right, I don't know what way that would have worked. I don't know what wiring wise it's been wired up, if it is a different ECU and stuff like that. So I'm not too sure, but it'd be interesting to see what mileage is on the light module, and let's see, maybe get a true indication of what miles is on the car. As you can see, the engine management light or nothing comes on. The hazard warning or the handbrake warning is permanently on, and the airbag is permanently on, and so I'm gonna have to figure that out as well. I do have a virginized diesel dash, which I'm planning to try and use. Program into the car. Obviously I don't want to disturb any of the ECU, the original ECU programming or mapping. So probably the first thing I'll have to do is clone the ECU, clone the engine ECU, figure out what it is and make a clone, and then I can do whatever I want then with it, and I don't have to worry about messing about or messing it up. Not too sure if that's going to work or not, but it's worth a try. Other than that, aftermarket CD player, which isn't wired up right either, and have heated controls. We have this connector here, which from what I read and what I've been told, it's meant to be an emergency stop button at one stage for when they were using it as a prototype. Now I have noticed that when you start the car, so I'll show you it started here. As you can see, the revs don't work, but the car has a bit of a nasty idle. I don't know if you can hear it. It's got a slightly nasty idle, and the car doesn't really switch off with a key, so the car's still running, and then you have to put it right off to turn it off. But I get the feeling that the car was never finished mapping wise. I think it's a very safe sort of mapping system in the car. It's people have told me when they drove behind me is that the car's a bit smoky. Like I say, it wouldn't be that powerful. It's definitely not 150 brake anyway. It's like I say, it'd be more like a standard 115 BMW equivalent driving wise. But the car drives very well. It's a very nice cruising car. It's I would say a very, very good example of a 75 Tour for driving wise. So in that way I'm happy enough. I'm just also the central locking doesn't work. The central locking doesn't work off the fob, doesn't work at all. It's I'm not too sure why. It's I'm guessing there's some kind of issue maybe with the BCU or communication problems. I'm not 100% until I start delving into it. But so this is video 1 of the 75 prototype system, and yeah, I'm looking forward to delving into it and seeing what we can and cannot fix, and if we can have a wee play with things. And like I say, we'll we do some technical videos of engine stuff and turbo size and VNT control and stuff like that, and see exactly what way they wired it up. And if it is just a simple Fiat, maybe engine wiring loom, and just done a quick swap, but it'll be interesting to see. So that'll do for today. Hopefully some videos shortly. Thanks.